Hello all. This is one thing that I was very remiss in uh, not mentioning is this minimum increments and auto turns button. This is a very useful part of Aurora that it seems to be commonly overlooked. Auto turns, of course, people understand. Well, okay, at one day each day, well, we'll keep going until something's happening. Um, and it'll keep going until someone unchecks it. Well, that's very easy to understand. Um, but what about in later games? What about when a lot of stuff's going on and you're just slogging through the unimportant things, command assignments, stuff that you know is coming up, but the auto turns will stop. For example, on inactive labs, we will take out one inactive lab here, and one day, and we'll go, and all of a sudden, well, all the production that we just went over stopped it, but the inactive lab will also stop it. And a lot of people are like, oh, okay, well, I know about the production that was going on. I expected that. Now we have to go and do one day again and inactive lab. But you know that and you just keep slogging through it. Well, there is one thing that you can do, is this minimum increments. Minimum increments means how many increments, how many turns it will go through at a minimum. So let's make it 12 for educational purposes. We're going to say one day. And remember this new officer update. That's where we started. All right, and now it's stopped. And you noticed with minimum increments being where it was, it went through these two inactive labs but stopped on this one. Well, that's 15 days here. Why didn't it? All right, we'll answer the first question. Why did it go through these? Well, minimum increments. It forces for 12 increments that it will not stop and will keep going. And of course, you can still stop it by unclicking auto turns. But why did it not stop on the 12 day? Well, it's a minimum. You gotta keep that in mind. It's minimum. So if it could keep going, it will keep going until it receives an event that will stop it. So that's why it went to 15 days. But again, you can always stop it manually by pressing auto turns. If you want to have some control over it, so that it will stop every single time, one thing that you can do, and we haven't gone over this, but this is its own special thing, is go up to fleet orders. You can probably make a new task group and just give it the special order survey 5 system bodies and close out, and do one day. No, it looks like it needs to have some ship inside there to go, but that'll give it the orders not possible, and that will stop every single time, every single increment, so that at least in some regard, it will make it manageable. And because it happens every increment as opposed to every 5 days or whatever your production cycle might be, it's a good way to manage it. And you can always turn off orders not possible and then turn it back on when you want to check. Anyway, that was been that short tutorial. Very sorry for not going over it, but I do think it deserves special mention because of the general ambiguities over it.